Okay, but at least it looks like my mic's working, that's the thing. Right, go to the display, and we can see display is working. Now let's open up this. So now, and let's push stream, which means you still hear me. And then if I press play, that's that working. I don't know how it's looking on the YouTube side, which is something I'm gonna have to maybe find out. Um, so can I open my bitrate? Um, let's put it like 4050. I mean, I know it's gonna be delayed, but I'm gonna have to see what my bitrate like. Okay. Let's see, let me make sure that it's loading. Okay. If I do this and I just keep waving, oh, it's fine on my phone. Looks like we're here for it for a good time. So, yeah, I mean, how do I eat that on share? Post it in my Discord. Do I build or do I just watch this video that I want to watch? Mhm. Okay, so we know that that works. So we can kind of. The question is, do I want to add some commands for the sake of adding some commands? I'm going to leave it on. First, I'm working on myself. Give it that watch time. That's the question. That is the question. I'm gonna make sure I can hear myself. Right. Yeah, I can hear myself. And if I play this video, yeah, I can hear it, but it doesn't look like Shaq can hear it. Okay, so can't be head over stream. So let's fix that first. So if I do that, I mean, is this a thing where I'm not sending the right track to YouTube? To track one? That's still not working. Um, I mean, do I need to reset the stream for the settings to take place? If I put it back on, it goes back.
We do go over on the show.
There you go, that can be heard now. Brilliant. So that can be heard, that can be heard, that can be heard. Brilliant. Turn me down so that I'm not actually hearing myself that much. Okay. So the question is now, what's the easiest way for me to do what I want to do in terms of getting StreamerBot to work with YouTube? Right now, I don't need a mute on because I'm not really working. I can leave alerts on, that's fine. I don't have any StreamerBot open though, but I have open is my thingy bot, which I'm going to move onto this screen. I shall put on this screen because remote desktop connect. Yeah, should really so things. I'm going to delete this anyway, I think. Oh shit, I need to check some of the data. Um no, okay, let's do a chain. Just me. And then I thought I'd renew one. This is really annoying that I've tried to put renew on a few times. I can't get renew on. Manage. At the moment I'm happy. What's the it shouldn't be using that much? There's nothing on it you shouldn't be using. I've literally done nothing. I don't know when it happened. I've been again. Oh, um, okay. That's why it's off. Go back now. Um, look, it says turn off auto renewal. I don't know why I didn't renew. It should be renewing. I'm gonna have to find a way. Maybe I could think of some. Maybe I can get one of the other PCs I have. Just I don't want to have a PC that I have on all the time though. Maybe I can get a mini PC. Okay, we'll make sure it's turned on. It should be on. Let me see if I can open it. If I can open it on this side. You can't get onto it, man. She's annoying. When it used all this CPU. Okay, now can I get onto it? Can I get onto it? I'm trying. I'm trying. It's just not showing. No, I don't know why. Why I don't think this shows. Reboot it. Come on, just fully reboot it. Nothing you're saying is making any sense. What do I do? What do I need? I want a shirt bot on all the time. I want a shirt bot on all the time. How do I do that? This isn't working correctly. Anyway, I don't want to have to do that. Don't want to do that. Need to find a better server than that. Let me show you. It's not saying it's shut down. It's not saying no. It's just been like, yeah. I mean, I go into my Twitch channel. Okay, so now it's now it looks like it's open. Okay, let me close this. Cool. Yeah, close this down. Now I need to work out how to log into YouTube. I should log in with like a key. Um, let's go platforms, YouTube, I agree, count, sign with Google. Okay, that's fine. So, because I'm not on Terrier Darts, I'm on Terrier Talks, I need to do disconnect. Then I need to do I need to do something funky here. So bear with me. I need to get my main bot connected with this and then copy the auth file over to this bot so that it'll log in. Data. Auth. The auth file on auth backup. So platforms, YouTube, I agree, account, sign in, 800 this email. I'm going to do Terry Talks, continue, manage your YouTube account, click. close. And now that now plugged into your talks. Cool. And then what we'll do is we'll do open folder. One day there, it did second of 12, it did a dual log file. I don't know why it did that one, but it did. Close that. Go upper file, go data, which I think this is one that's going to contain my data. Copy. Let me delete that one. Paste. Close that. Open this. If I've done that right, this should now be logged in with my bot, my YouTube. That's all if I've done it right. Cool. Alright. Viewers. Then we're going to go platforms, broadcasts, monitored. Yes. So if we do this right, we can change this to press save. It should. Do that. Yes, it's changed it. So we know name changes worked. It hadn't changed there, but if I refresh it, I assume it's going to show me that it's changed. Oh shit, I should have closed Chrome down. I do want to do that. Can we open that? Oh, where is it? There you go. There you go. But it's active. Bosh. So now what we'll do is we're going to make some simple YouTube commands. We'll do add. I don't know if people could do what with that. Let me just do a quick Google. See, if they don't know the password, they're not going to get on. I mean, if they just have the IP. Um, okay, so it doesn't say, it says it's not meaningless. Okay. But if I'm on stream, I could make so that at least that top is trimmed. Let me just do controls, studio mode, scenes, display. Oh, I've actually blurred it out anyway. Must have done that one. So, what we're saying here is admin and what we'll do is create a sub. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay, so that's when I'm streaming on you. That's when I was streaming on YouTube, and I don't really need that to be honest. Or I definitely don't need that on now. So what we'll do is do source YouTube. New what's subscriber? That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so I can't do any subscriber because I got the. Yeah, let me. I mean, I thought, Dick, that would work. It has worked. It hasn't worked on the screen. I don't know what's not working on the screen. Home, co-working. That's fine. Integrations, street elements. I kind of need to connect my YouTube data. This is what I need to do. Okay. Okay, let me do this. Keep that open. Let me close this down. Yes. Let me minimize this. Let me close this. Let me open this. Streams. I mean, you can see that I'm on the internet. You just can't see what I'm actually doing, which is really good. Okay, we are just testing shit today. We may look at the video. We might scan through the Flatzoid video, but again, I won't know if anyone subs either at the moment. I won't have that information. I get a subscriber. Hopefully, my phone will notify me if said event happens. But what we have to do is we have to now log in with stream elements into this bot, and hopefully that all information is still in the same auth file, so I can just drag and drop it. I don't have to. It means I don't have to log in on the other one on the other thingy. If it wasn't a closed network, my own network, I'd do it. But I need to find a way that I can do that when I can get a PC, something really small, and be able to run StreamerBot just off it on the network. That's what I can leave on all the time. But I don't know if I need that really. Maybe do I just need it on well? I'm streaming. It helps the co-working stream, which I like to do. That's why I did it. Only reason I really did it. Okay. Actions, integrations, stream elements. Forget. Login. Login with YouTube. Let me. We're going to say this account. This account. Continue. Select all. I assume that information is stored in the auth file. So I have to try open up folder. Let me just make sure it is. What's this something else that says stream elements or like that? Similar events. No. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's all going to be in here. Okay. So once again, what we'll do is just close this. Oh, let's do a little save. Blah blah blah. Open this folder. Off. Copy it now. Yeah, minimize this. Open this. See if I can get to this streamable folder a bit nicer. Because not obviously everything's in this here. Copy and replace. Close. Open streamable. And I would say Bosch, but yeah, it didn't really work. I like how the Google Chrome thingy looks. And you can't really see it here, but yeah. Integrations. Oh, it is working. So I don't know if I can actually test this at the game, but this should now work. If we just put YouTube in here. I'm going to say sub action. Where's YouTube sub actions? There. Send message channel. All from the broadcaster. What's the user? You. Welcome to. See if that. Copy that. Okay, that's fine. So we'll close it down. And we'll just say film describe test. Does it work? There you go. There you go. So now we get a message if someone does actually sub in chat. We'll create some nice effect when it comes to it. A bit nicer. I'll build something really cool when it comes to it. But then we can do some nice little I don't know. Do that. And basically what we do is we do core command triggered, create a command, we do YouTube shout out. But let's put it on a global cooldown of about 10 minutes. Don't want people spamming it. Shit, no, that's not what I want. And again, we're going to go YouTube, the message, broadcaster, sub. I will make these sound better in a minute. Just again, I'm just building stuff and testing stuff. If I do FTFE, if I've done something wrong, what I've done wrong, that's what I've done wrong. But I'm looking at other people. Again, I do want to try be a neutral voice in all this. I obviously I want to hold a position, but I don't want to hold a position where I'm like I'm dead set on anything. I kind of want to say that there's people on both sides of the argument because I think what people I've always believed before you make a decision, you have to hear both sides of an argument and say, okay, I'm coming to this argument fresh. I'm going to listen to both sides and then make an informed decision. Because I just think if you do it any other way, um, I'm generally a Twitch streamer, so anything YouTube wise is very new. And then we're going to add another one. We'll say YouTube. Same thing. We're going to do add command triggered. Create a command. You can probably see what I'm doing now, actually. Couldn't see. Yeah, so we got that Drunk Debunk, and then basically I'm just going to copy this. and basically FDFE. Well, I'll do that one and scroll down to this one and get this channel as well. Creating it again. Yes. Yep, yep, yep. Yep, yep, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Cool. And we'll do this one because this one's really cool. This guy's a cool guy as well. We'll do one more and then can I paste the sub-action? Copy sub-action. Paste sub-action. And I believe the guy's called Max in it. Matter Snow. And we're going to do this. Call commands triggered. Create the command. Sprout. And I will add more people, to be honest. I'll add people based on what people suggest. Because, hey, that's what people want, right? Just so you know that it's showing me an error, but it looks like it's still loading fine on my phone and everything. So I don't know if there's an issue. Please tell me. I can fix things like that. I can fix when people tell me. I can't fix when people don't tell me. So just to make sure these will work, we're going to say commands. What commands did we do? We did drunk matters. There you go. So I've put three. I will. I do want to do other people. I do want to do Flatzoid. I do want to do DM Keegan. I do want to do MC2. But again, I don't want to be locked into flat Earth stuff either. I do want to challenge other things. I want to challenge, human rights stuff, things that I want to tackle social issues. I want to tackle politics. I want to do a lot of things. So let me just do platforms. Because I think we're just going to watch this video because I want to watch it. God, sad cold. And I hope Sacco, and I hope to politics. That should have said now. So technically, just watching the Drunk Debunk. There you go. I can close this now. I'm not doing that wish robot anymore. Actually, I feel like I should wish robot up here instead, and just minimize it in case I need it. Then open up paste.
More serious note, what do you want to talk about tonight specifically? Because we both have very different views.
We do. I just wanted to talk to you about like, I don't know. Like I watch a lot of your stuff, obviously. We do go over on the show some of your content
Just
of a different mindset, different upbringing, things like that. It's just very interesting to see where you and your panel come from, as far as what we take as evidence and what we do with that evidence, and then for specifically the final experiment, right? So the final experiment is a huge deal. Obviously, it's getting a lot of traction, and from both sides. And I feel like it was designed to ruffle a lot of feathers, and that's exactly what it did. So what I wanted to talk to you about is I guess my main question would be, what exactly would it take for you specifically, not just you and your panel, but you to take the evidence that with all the footage and whatnot from all the cameras and what that was used down in Antarctica. What would it take for you to be convinced that it was actually all real footage?
See, my internet's just not that good. I don't know why my internet's so bad. I don't know what I can do to speed up my internet. What can I do? Maybe if I just close this because I know I'm not going to need it. And close that. I mean, I do have this. Can I? I did that. I can always delete it after. That's the thing. And that's the great thing. I can just delete it after. One thing I need to make sure is that I don't leak my email address and stuff. Yeah, so going forward, if I'm going to watch a stream, I might just have to download it because for some reason my internet's not that good.
Well, I think what would have sold it a bit better if they had the 24-hour live stream. I think that would have changed a lot. At the moment, I don't think there's really anything because of all the deception that's been going on, and there is a way to fake it. And I've got a whole series coming out to show this. I do believe this is a spiritual
Let's see.
24-hour live stream. I think that would have changed. Well, I think what would have sold it a bit better if they had the 24-hour live stream. I think that would have changed a lot. At the moment, I don't think there's really anything because of all the deception that's been going on, and there is a way to fake it. And I've got a whole series coming out to show this. I do believe this is a spiritual thing. I do believe this is an attack specifically on.
See, here's my thing with this is just because they could fake it doesn't mean they did fake it. And I think there's a difference, and I think we don't. I think a lot of flat earthers are picking up on that. They're just thinking, well, it's possible to be faked, so therefore it is faked.
Biblical cosmology and creation. So I don't know. Are you a creationist or
no? I am a God-fearing Catholic. I believe I have a belief in science, in evolution, things like that. But I also do believe that we do have a creator. And if we want to go into I know this is the first time we're meeting, but my religious beliefs go along the lines of God created this massive universe because that's just how powerful He is. And when new pictures come out from all these satellites of space and these telescopes that are showing just gorgeous things in space, it only solidifies my belief in a creator. So that's. I see that what the space agencies are and even the amateur astronomers like.
See, I'm completely not religious, but I understand that for me, religion is just a belief, and for me, religion isn't rooted in any factual thing. So, yeah.
Like my sister, right? She just got a C-star and she's been sending us some really cool stuff. The more I see of that, the more I go, wow, that was created for us. And
yeah, God created an awesome place. I mean, we can't, nobody can deny it. It's created for a purpose though. I've been a Christian most of my life as a globe as well. So I do see things a bit differently now, but it does make it more clear to me why I see the heliocentric belief system as detrimental to the true creation of God. Because I've seen a lot of Christians go to, for instance, college and they end up becoming atheists afterwards because of the things they're taught there. You know what I mean? It does come down to a lot of, are you strong enough to be, how can I say, have a relationship with God afterwards or not? Because I think, I don't know about you, but I think the whole system, how it's primed, is against God and the creation. So even when I was a globe, I understood this.
It's against God because God doesn't exist. Actually, God exists, but in a belief, You know, a bit like we know Santa Claus doesn't exist, but we use Santa Claus in children as a belief system in order to teach them what's good and what's bad, what's good behavior and what's not good behavior. Because anyone who's parents or will have said, "Oh, if you're not good, Santa will, Santa will be watching." You know, we use them lessons to reinforce onto children, and whether they're right or they're wrong, we still do it. And for me, God is just an extension of that. It doesn't matter what religion you follow, God is just an extension of that, where people choose to say, "Look, I'm going to be a good person, or try to be a good person, whatever, based off these beliefs that that's what God that's what God is." So I think we need God. We need people to believe in God because we need people to take the lessons. But if you live your life by the word of God, the problem is that it's text of its time. So things like, male dominance sort of thing is spoken about in there. The man is the man, the woman is the woman. You know, very homophobic texts are in there and stuff like that. And this is why, we're talking about one of the big things that came up from religious text is it okay to lie? And in them days, it probably weren't, but we can't put the teachings of what was it, let's say Jesus was born 2000, that's what the kind of thing is, but even 2000 years ago, even 1,000 years ago, we can't put them teachings into our life today because our life is so much more complicated than it was 1,000 years ago. There's so many more layers to our life now that the teachings that are in the Bible just don't apply anymore. Well, it's in my view.
That's why I knew it as the Great Deception and everything, and this with the UFOs and all this, because I do believe the UFOs are just demonic. It's all spiritual based on demons. So because I don't believe there is an outer space, obviously.
Right.
But, we do observe things with telescopes. I'm not going to deny that.
Yeah. I mean that's so. I feel like you have a point with the system, the way you set up the education system is you go in a Catholic or Christian, you come out an atheist. I feel like that's more of a like a personal kind of thing. Like for me, like I went to school, of course. So hear me out. I went to Catholic school my whole life. so I was being taught science. I was being taught religion. I'd go to science class and then I go read some passages from the Bible and then go take Holy Communion every Wednesday. So it's like it was like I grew up with both. So that not everyone grows up going to Catholic schools and learning about both because in my science classes they'd be like look at what our Creator has done and what it's and another thing that I feel is that God gave us the intelligence to build and make tools, right? And I feel like He gave us this intelligence to make these tools to be able to see His creation, to be able to appreciate everything that He has put together for us to explore and to learn about.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. But how do you, as a Catholic, reconcile with the Book of Genesis? Because it obviously doesn't fit with what the heliocentric system is teaching. How do you place that into your belief system?
That's placed into my belief system by the story of the creation is it how do I put this? I believe that it didn't take days. I believe that days could be considered as a millennia, like millions of years. So one day is a couple million years. The second day, a couple million years. So that's how I look at it, right? I mean, I'm not a young Earth creationist, obviously, but that's how and
See, this is the problem with religion. There's just so many conflicting when you consider science and religion. They just don't know how they go together. And yeah, I don't know how they go together. That's my point there.
of course, like if we look at other religions like Greek mythology, right? There was a god for everything that we didn't understand at the time, right? There's a sun god, there's a death god, there's an air god, there's an earth god, there's a god for literally everything that we didn't understand at a scientific level.
Yeah.
But my belief is that God gave us the intelligence to learn about His creation. So that's
okay. Yeah, because if you had to look at the heliocentric model, well, because you believe it's thousands or millions of years or whatever, that's fine. But how? Because the heliocentric model detects that the sun came 10 billion years before the Earth was even formed.
Mm-hmm.
So how would you have a day? Because in the Bible, it's very specific. You had a day from day 1 to day 4, and day 4 is only when the sun was actually coming to fruition.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm okay with admitting that the Bible that they could have been wrong when they wrote the Bible. You know, it's what I mean. If it comes down to man wrote the Bible, right? God didn't take a pen and start writing these pages. It was the word of God was transcribed through man to these pages, and yeah, so it's fine, yeah. So they could be wrong, right? And that's one of the things that you have to learn to admit when you're being faced with undeniable evidence of things that contradict what these words say. And that's just
Yeah, you see, I disagree though. I think the Bible is because it's inspired by God. They wouldn't get it wrong. They wouldn't be lying. Just like Moses, Moses spoke directly face to face with God, and God told Moses how He created the heavens and the earth. So I don't know if Moses was just very illiterate that didn't understand what God was saying, or God lied or something. That's just something that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, it can come down to it was a different type of understanding of reality back then. And those people, like in today's society, Moses would be the guy on the street corner of New York City saying all this stuff, right? Like, oh, I'm a prophet, I hear from God and stuff, and people just brush him off, right? It was like like in today's society, that's what it would be. I mean the population right now is the population back then was a fraction of what it is now. So when people start talking about this stuff, I mean, they listen, and then if people are scared, they want to hear something that will give them savior, and that's how I feel like these people got into the Bible was they were either crazy or they were actually hearing from God. But I mean, what we witness on a day to day, right? It's not all correct, which is something that I'm okay with, right? I'm not saying that God lied. I'm not saying that they lied. I'm just saying that they just didn't know.
Yeah, no, I get that because I've heard that a lot. People usually like say Genesis is just allegory or poetic. You know what I mean? Well, I strongly disagree though. But I mean, we're not going to be into a whole debate.
Yeah,
you're wrong. But yeah, it's just interesting to hear your take on things. That's why I'm just very, very interested to ask. Is there anything you want to ask? Or
geez, when so you kind of gave a little bit of your background. How long ago have you believed in the flat earth? Like, well, you said you were a Glober before, but then
I came into it in 2017. I started on Facebook for about 2-3 years, and I ended up leaving it because there was I had actually a stalker that I had to actually get a court case against. So it was a big thing, but so that's why I moved over to YouTube, and I've been on it ever since. Nice. So that's quite clear.
Yeah, I also started on Facebook, but Facebook
so. Quite crazy. You get some weirdos there.
Yeah, I did get some weirdos in my because I was gaming at the time, and there was weirdos in my chat.
You get weirdos on YouTube as well. I honestly, this isn't me saying but I honestly think that Twitch is the best platform to be streaming on, just because from a developer point of view, I can do so much and make my stream into more interactive on Twitch than I can anywhere else. Yes, I can do things on YouTube, but YouTube, and I feel like the sense of community is better on Twitch than it is on YouTube, because the way that people can just create dummy accounts and just post shit, and you end up with sometimes festering this toxic environment because people just create accounts and blah blah blah, and it's never like named or like that. It's just that's my view, but I watch on YouTube and I watch on Twitch. I honestly still prefer Twitch, but yeah, I think YouTube. I've had some good streams. I've had some good streams on YouTube. I mean, not streams. I've been in some good streams on YouTube, and generally, it's not too bad. But I've also seen some really stuff that I've seen the worst of streaming I've seen on YouTube. Like, I've seen some horrific things on YouTube, and I've never seen them on Twitch. So maybe that's just me.
They're like, because my daughter I play games with my daughter on stream, and she was like 8 or 9. They'd be like, "Oh, hey, how's your daughter doing?" Like, bro, no, I'm done here. But that's not the reason why I left Facebook. But that was a supporting time. but yeah, so that's cool. All right, well, so I guess okay. I had a whole lot of things that I wanted to say or ask, but of course I didn't write them down, and with the thought of, I'll remember it. So yeah, I've been watching a lot of your videos. Actually, do you mind if we talk about your most recent video that you just put out?
Go ahead. Okay. The one that came out today.
Yeah, I watched that this morning when I woke up. It was interesting, right? It was interesting. The whole station was all redesigned in the Unreal Engine. It was actually pretty cool how they overlaid it and all that kind of stuff. However, what I want to talk about is if that how do I put it? That would only be the viewpoint of one camera, right? So there were many cameras, right? 5 or 6 cameras. So I can see how that would be plausible. However, the people moving in the shot, the overall like look of it. I mean, there's a difference between CGI through Unreal Engine and reality, right, in real life. In CGI, you don't get the lens flares, right? You don't get the imperfections with the thumbprints, the fingerprints, all that kind of stuff. You can't reenact the footprints unless you really go in and really hard code it. There's a lot of holes in that plausible scenario, right? Along with there were 5 other cameras or 6 other cameras that were recording at the same time, the same thing, but from different viewpoints. So that would be it would all have to be faked all at the same time with all these different renderings. So what do you say about that?
Well, the thing is, because they created HDR environments, they're able to have the same file loaded on. Remember, each person is separately loading their videos up.
Mm-hmm.
So they already have the HDR environment set up in Unreal Engine. And the lens flares and atmospheric conditions for the sun, gaze, and everything is easily done in Unreal Engine. And you're able to put different focal points with more than one camera as well.
Is it easily done? I mean, as someone who's dabbled in coding and dabbled in things, yes, okay, it's possible to be done and this, but I question how easy it is here. I don't think it is that easy. You gotta think, when people build a game, there's a documentary on The Last of Us 2, and they built this game, and it took them so long to do, and to get everything looking right. And even then, you could see Last of Us 2, and you'd look at it and go, that's a game. There's a point where you say, oh, that looks really good, and you can credit the graphics. But graphics only get you so far, to the point where you're like, I think if the 24-hour sun were faked, we'd have better evidence, and we'd have better knowledge, because you'd know that it were faked. Like it would be obvious, but I don't think it is here. I just don't think it holds water.
Well, so they're able to link all 5 cameras together in Unreal Engine, and you're able to put different focal points with more than one camera as well. So they're able to link all 5 cameras together in that 3D environment to give the different viewpoints if they wanted to. Also, the snow footprints, you have actually plugins for that as well that give real-time snow foot sounds and interactions with the snow around them. Like I said, I think they did go. The first time it was probably Will Duffy and Toon that went to there earlier. That's why I said, look how young they look. It doesn't gel that's 4 days difference. It looked like they went there before, and they probably went to scope out and take the HDR imaging, the high definition rendering, so they could put it into Unreal Engine. Would give them more than enough time. A couple of months is more than enough time to create a 3D environment. When they get in December, they actually do go to Antarctica, but because they have this already set up in Unreal, they're able to have the fake sun for their rendering. So they use the environment, which is already 3D created. And I'm busy working on a video right now where I'm showing you can literally do this in your back room with a phone. I can literally make it look like I'm in the ISS right now, showing up, down, left, right, looks like I'm moving everywhere, and I'm literally just in front of a green screen.
So okay, yeah, I saw there's I don't know if you watch any tech YouTube channels like
I love tech channels,
like a lot of tech tips and the gaming show they have. They actually showed how they made that background, and it's with a green screen. It's all done in Unreal Engine, and when you move the camera around, the whole background moves along with it because it's all rendering in real time. However, again, that requires just one camera, right? So with let's use the drone footage. Where's Wally? He provided a stitched video of all the different cameras. You know, MC2 was live streaming it. We had Dave McKeegan was filming it. Will Duffy was live streaming it, and all these, we have all these camera angles during this drone situation. And so for that all to be rendered with green screen in the background, that would require an insane amount of computing power.
No, I don't think you understand. That's really done. The drone can be done easily. They can go up.
See, for me, here's the thing, and this is what I said when I say that, and I was saying right before we started this, I like to listen to both sides of the argument and say, okay, so those who are saying it's fake are saying this, those who are saying it's real are saying this, and then my brain pushes it and I go, okay, which is more plausible? Because they're both possible. There's no doubt in my mind that they're not possible. They are both possible. It is possible they could have faked it. And it's also possible that they went and saw a 24-hour sun. And whatever they're saying is true. That they saw the 24-hour sun, they came home, done. Job story, job done, bosh. That's possible. Like I said, this side is possible as well. So, if for me, both sides are possible, I now have to work out in my mind, which one do I think is more plausible? And this idea that everything was just fake. There's no other real proof. It's just like, well, it could be faked. It's possible to be faked, and this is the message I'm getting. It could be faked.
And take like I said, they're already there. Okay. No, I don't think you understand. That's really done. The drone can be done easily. They can go up and take. Like I said, they're already there. Okay. They've never showed a 24-hour sun. You can do in post-production, you can show the sun in a certain position. You can even have a filter that does give the sun in a certain position as well. It doesn't let you make it there. So even if they linked McToon's video with Jaren's video and Duffy's video and stuff, they are still able to render that sun in real time with a filter to say it's at the position, even though they're different. Like I said, because you have an Unreal environment set up, I don't know if you in Unreal, you can literally change camera angles. You can set positions for that camera. So they can literally each have their position set with their camera already, which gives the default of where the sun should be. So in real time, it can make an overlay. It's like augmented reality.
Okay.
But they could literally be there. There's no green screen. It's just the sky itself is just chroma keyed out because it is layered on in Unreal.
So one thing, so really quick, I have something to bring up really quick. I totally forgot the picture of MC Toon and Duffy from that content creator. Yeah. So he's a content creator, right? He was posting on TikTok, and I was actually showing my daughter, my 14-year-old daughter, that picture. And I was like, what do you think of this? Like, why like here's a picture, because it was on your review of Sean's debate. And so and you put the pictures right next to each other. I was like, so what do you think? Like, if this was taken 2 days before or 3 days before, what do you think the difference would be? Like, why would they look a little younger? And she goes, oh well, all my friends use the smoothing filter. Like, oh, my 14-year-old daughter just debunked that entire claim.
Not actually, you can use filters, but how do you know which phone, if they use the phone or if they use the camera, and did they use filters or not?
Yeah, so that'd be something that someone who's saying that is
it's
wrong
a possibility.
would need to.
Yeah, it's a possibility. I'm not saying it's not a possibility. They could have had filters and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, he kind of just debunks it. That's not proof, just because they could do it. When that's the point he's making.
That'd be something that someone who's saying that is
it's
wrong
a possibility.
would need to.
Yeah, it's a possibility. I'm not saying it's not a possibility. They could have had filters and stuff.
Yeah.
But that is kind of like a cop out to say, okay, this is why they look younger. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what you say about it could be a cop out too, but whatever.
I'm just pointing out it looks fishy. That's all I'm doing. I'm not saying that is true. I'm just saying, to me, this looks very unrealistic. You know what I mean? It just doesn't add up.
Yeah.
The fact is that even Dave McKeegan was with him, and he didn't have a photo of this guy.
Oh, I have Andy in chat. He said it's because the Fountain of Youth is in Antarctica.
Well, they looked older when they came back, so it must be a very bad time of youth.
Listen, that goes along with the presidency, right? After 4 years, you go like look at Obama, for instance, really quick on that. He went in looking like a 24-year-old. He came out looking like he was 72 years old. That kind of stress can get on you, right? But anyway, whatever. I digress. So on the Unreal Engine thing. So with those 24-hour time lapses, they did also have 24-hour real time recordings of those that they turn into time lapses or whatever. They all capture all of the live streams that were done when the sun was to the east, south, north, and west, right? So at all times of the days, those cameras are capturing all of those live streams as well with the sun in the respective location. So what that would require is that all those live streams would also have to have that rendering, which again, you have to understand. I have a 3070 Ti, right? A 5950X CPU on my streaming on my gaming computer, right? That couldn't handle it, right? This is a beast of a machine that wouldn't be able to handle all of that rendering.
Well, what kind of computer do you think they use at sports events?
They have massive computers at sports events.
Not really. If they just do, for instance, a rugby game and they got those overlays on, because that's exactly what it is. It could just be an overlay filter, augmented reality. You don't need a strong PC to do it. Well, it's just overlay.
See, this is my point. They do have proper. If you go to Wembley, you see they have massive servers and massive. They do. That's just. See, this Unreal Engine just is a non-starter. It's an absolute non-starter because it just doesn't logically make sense at all. And this is what gets me sometimes with Flat Earth is they get on this like idea ship or whatever, and instead of someone going, no, that don't make sense, let's think of something else. It don't make sense. Let's think of something else. They jump on it and they double down and they double down and double down, and before you know it, you're like, I mean, it's like the green screen thing when that Jonathan had the green screen patch. So many jumped on it, and it's like, no, that's not proof at all. If you knew how a green screen worked, you know that wouldn't work. Like if I had my green screen now, the background could disappear. Don't have the green screen up. But let's say I had a picture of Antarctica behind me, right? That on my green screen. When the green screen patch came on, that would show Antarctica behind me. it show exactly whatever that would behind me. But because you didn't see that behind me, the green screen wasn't green screening that. I want something in front of a green screen. That's not how green screens work. It is illogical that you're using the green screen argument. So we know we want a green screen at Antarctica, so we can rule that out. We know we want a green screen. Okay, was it a big LED dome? No, we can rule that out. And this is why we get into this stupid idea of Unreal Engine, because the three ideas that we kind of have, was it done with a green screen? No. Was it done with a big LED dome? Nope. And in fairness, the LED dome makes more sense than the Unreal Engine one. But the drone footage debunks that, and everything else debunks that. The traveling away that you can see kind of debunks it. You can see him get in, and you can see it drive away. I mean, how big is it? And it costs so much. Again, how much did this cost yourself? You're talking so much money.
Overlay that is, because that's exactly what it is. It could just be an overlay filter, augmented reality. You don't need a strong PC to do it. Well, it's just overlay that is just computed to give a rendering, you can say, in real time. There is no needing really to have a strong CPU to do that.
And here's the thing. Here's the point when he talks about the game. All they're doing is putting something on screen. They're not changing anything. No, they're not rendering backgrounds in real time. They're not doing in that sort of sense. They're doing what most streamers do. Like Drunk Debunk, he's got his camera here, he's got his chat here, and he's got this display of a Flatzoid here. And this, whatever this is here, whatever this is showing. But they're just overlaid, and that is rendering, that is okay. But there's no... His green screen will be taking up a lot of CPU because it's behind a green screen. So that'll be adding up to his CPU usage and stuff like that. And obviously this being a browser source will add to the CPU because it's running like a Chrome tab. But what he's saying don't make sense because it's not comparable. Because, again though, these things, PC are not transmitting over, they're not transmitting over internet. I don't think. Transmitting different, but even if they have top of the line cameras which need rendering. They have multiple cameras, and all that adds. They do need a strong PC, and he's wrong to say they don't need a strong PC. Try doing a stream where you game and you have interactions, and videos popping up and all that. Try doing a stream like that, and tell me that your PC can handle it and run fine. Whereas which stream will you do where you just capture your camera and Discord or whatever you use to chat with, and that's your stream done. Don't work.
I mean, augmented
rendering, you can say, in real time. There is no needing really to have a strong CPU to do that.
I mean, augmented reality is one thing. My phone can do that, right? Any phone since the iPhone 10 can do that. Right, but that's augmented reality. This is rendering an entire 3D environment that requires, and if it's all being rendered in real time during all these live streams and all that to all these cameras, I mean that's an insane.
No, just the sun is being positioned using the overlay. As I said, when they're doing the live streams, all they need is the overlay of the sun, its position. They don't need anything more than that. The CPU just needs to concentrate on the live stream, which they were exactly in Antarctica, and the overlay of the sun. So they were able to still fake that in live time, and it doesn't take that much CPU stress. What I'm saying is when they did like the 360 camera and stuff, they are able to fake it because they're able to pre-push the faked 3D rendering already in there. Dave McKeegan Dave McKeegan's still waiting for the video where I'm trying to explain how you're able to fake 360 footage, which I'm going to do soon. But yeah, you can easily do it by re-uploading images back onto the Insta. So you're able to unload and upload. So you can literally upload Mars to your Insta 360 and say, look, I took it live.
It's what you're not wrong, right? You can do that. I have two statements on that. Saying you can do it doesn't mean that that's what was done, right? However, what was the second? Hold on, give me a second. I have like my kids talking like in the background. Like I have so much noise happening that you can't hear. But shit. What was I gonna say? So I mean, it would all have to be. What was I? Oh my god, dude. All right, let's just go on because it'll come.
But I have to again say, I'm not saying this is how it's done. I'm saying it's a possibility. How to me it looks like it could be done. It's just one of the.
I mean, I get what Flatzoid's saying, But I'd like a percentage. What percentage chance do you think that that is possible? As opposed to what percentage chance do you think that they actually went and saw everything they claim to saw? See, to me, it's I don't know. Honestly, I just can't see how they've done it. I just don't think it's possible. I really think that they're trivializing something that is very complicated. And yes, I don't know everything, but it just feels like they're making saying something that is actually extremely complicated. Like, oh no, you can just do this, you can just do this. You know, they talk about this augmented reality, you know, you've been able to do that. But when you see these virtual green screens sort of thing, you see how bad they are, that they don't quite capture. If you see someone who's got a virtual green screen, you can tell they have a virtual green screen. You know, I mean, I know technology is getting better, but you can normally tell if it don't quite fully cut them out, and sometimes it'll cut them out when they move or stuff like that.
The ideas. I have to again say, I'm not saying this is how it's done. I'm saying it's a possibility how, to me, it looks like it could be done. It's just one of the ideas. Because to me, it still looks faked, and I give my reasons for that. I'm not saying it is 100% faked. Just to give a background towards it.
Yeah. So that's that makes sense. But I just honestly what really validates it for me is the I was right. The second point was what does it for me is is that all of those live streams are filmed from those external cameras during the time lapses and all that kind of stuff. So like that's what sells it for me is like you can't. But okay, but beyond that, it's just and the imperfections of the lenses of the cuts between the stitching, right? All those things, those validate it for me as well. Because if it was perfect without those lens flares, without the snug looking like it's stretching or popping from one place to another, depending on the camera, because there's a ton of cameras that all capture
But I think you can make the claim that they put them in to make it look like it's not real, because we would question if it were too perfect. You know, it's like when people try fake old photos, and you make imperfections to make them look older. I think that's the claim he's going to make here.
without the snug looking like it's stretching or popping from one place to another, depending on the camera, because there's a ton of cameras that all capture the same thing at the same time. I mean, if it was all a rendering, that was all the same rendering, just at different vantage points, they would have to make those inconsistencies, render those specific for each one of the cameras.
That's where Unreal comes in. That's where Unreal's able to map it out and change it, because it's got all those settings to change for ray tracing and shadows and perspective and distancing. So it's able to do that in real time and create a filter to be able to. So we all know Mactoon is also able to write programs if he really wants to. So
I mean, he writes spam detection stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, Notepad, I can take Notepad and I can quickly write your HTML code and do a web page for you in like 2 minutes. You know what I mean? Just a basic one saying, hi, this is Flatzoid or whatever. He can do that too. But you can literally even use AI today to make you a quick filter program that you can able to load onto your PC that gives a filter as the sun doing those things if you wanted to.
I'm just saying, as someone who's coded, if you try to use AI code, you'll run into more problems than you'll solve. AI can only do so much, but you ask it to do something complicated. You ask it to do filters, it won't know how to do filters. It can't do filters, can't AI. The code from AI just isn't quite good enough yet. It's not good enough to give you good code. I mean, it may save some problems, but yeah, AI code isn't the best. I mean, I've coded things using AI, but has it been good? I don't know. I've run into some real issues with AI saying, no, that just don't work. When I've hit a brick wall with all my research, or that, I've gone to AI, and then that's given me some really horrible code, and I've said, yeah.
Today to make you a quick filter program that you can able to load onto your PC that gives a filter as the sun doing those things if you wanted to. You just need the position and the set parameters. You don't need really much more than just to understand how it functions. That's it. So that's why I said it's very easy, plausible to fake it, even though they got multiple cameras, because those multiple cameras all are based on the same network of foundation that they gave for the position of the sun.
Yeah, and what? Yeah, but I understand what you're saying, right? I'm not just saying nah, right? Because that's not how I do. What I'm saying is, for that to work, it would have to be because each camera has their own imperfections. They each have their own thing, but they were all filming the exact same thing. So again, I mean, yeah, you can throw in a quick filter for each camera, but all they did was set up a camera, hit record, put their batteries in their left boots, and just call it a day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what are your thoughts about all the Masonic signs?
I think it's all just garbage. Come on, fucking Nico was like, "Oh, Mike has a brick background. That means he's a Mason, right?" Like, come on, I've never even met a Mason. If I have, then I don't even know. So actually, what I'm going to be doing is this is actually just an AI image. I was like, "Give me a brick wall with gold paint spattered on it," because you can see my little gold, little stuff, my accents, but whatever. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to actually paint a giant 33 on my wall right here. Whatever, just to kind of poke fun at Nico.
We want a red one. Yeah, but you see, the thing is why everybody's so skeptical about it is because these guys specifically got, and it just keeps having more and more occurrences with symbolism. It's a different thing to say, yeah, okay, I didn't know this was symbolism for it, but if it keeps happening and keeps happening, people get skeptical about it. You know, it's like, is it really just a coincidence? How many coincidences can you have before it's like, this is guy telling the truth? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like there's I mean, you could find coincidences. Like let's look at like how long has the Masons been around for? Since at least George Washington, right, in 1700s.
Before it actually started with in the King of Solomon's time.
So that's a long time to make a lot of rituals, right? Let's look at the TV show The Simpsons, right? Now you could look at The Simpsons and be like, holy crap, this is like this is prophetic. Like we can tell the future based off of these episodes, right? And there's a lot of the stuff lines up, right? And it's crazy, but obviously there's no connection to it, right? There's a lot of consistencies that go with The Simpsons can tell the future, but it's just coincidence.
But even that, there is a way to have a planned future, you could say, where they are able to more or less plan things in advance because they're writing a show, in a script. So they could be using The Simpsons as a script teller, and they're just playing the future events based on that, and they're fabricating future events based on.
Is he not just saying, yeah, Simpsons just it's a weird one how they get so much wrong. How is he trying to justify that the Simpsons can tell the future?
And that's how it can come to pass. Even that's possible, because even the Simpsons have been shown to have Masonic roots. Yeah, it's weird, eh?
Yeah,
I mean, NASA. I mean, think about even NASA. What has Aleister Crowley got to do with the origins of NASA?
Nothing. He was dead.
No, actually, he does.
Because he was a Mason.
Yeah, no, he wasn't a Mason. He was a Satanist.
Yeah.
But he's how can I say, he's young Padawan. He was the guy that did all the rocketry for NASA, and he was also big into Satanism, and that was the link for Aleister Crowley to NASA. So it's weird. There's a lot.
It's a link, but Flat Earth is clear. Is it Flat Earth Dave who has that post when he goes, Aleister Crowley founded NASA? A link to NASA and founding NASA are two different things, and you end up clutching at straws.
A lot of things that NASA did, and I'm just saying NASA because that's the main space agency.
Yeah, I mean,
other space agencies too. That's one thing that does irritate me about that either. They all just go NASA. They don't really worry about ESA or you know what I mean. There's a lot of
I appreciate that we lie on that. But
yeah, with NASA specifically, the origins is very dodgy. I mean, it has Disney involved, it has Satanism's involved, it has ex-Nazis involved, things like that. So why do you trust anything they bring up? In other words, I mean, even today, how much VFX studios?
What was that?
Even today, how many VFX studios does NASA own?
Oh, I have no idea. I mean, those would be for obviously simulation, right? Because let's look at really quick. Let's look at how disappointing NASA is versus SpaceX, right? SpaceX gets their hands dirty, right? They do their simulations, but then they shoot their stuff up and then it explodes, right? That's their simulation. NASA will spend 20 years on one simulation, right? For instance, the what's the mission going back to the moon? Artemis, right?
Artemis, they postponed it again.
Yeah, because they can't get their simulations to work right. It's insane. Like it's just really disappointing that they just keep postponing these really cool things. But SpaceX, somehow Elon Musk can afford to shoot stuff up and have it explode. But anyway.
Well, what are your thoughts? I don't know if you knew this about NASA. They started out actually doing deep sea exploration.
Really?
And then they were actually deep sea. They actually had a famous experiment that they did where they tried to make dolphins communicate, and they actually got a woman that fell in love with some of the dolphins that she would literally jerk them off every day. Yeah, it's it's crazy stuff like that.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, is that true? I mean, I remember the jerking off woman. That's just not true. That can't be true. NASA has a deep sea. Let me just go back to let's find what he's claiming.
How do you apply for?
Yeah, and they were actually deep. Thoughts. I don't know if you knew this about NASA. They started out actually doing deep sea exploration.
Okay, so let's just look at NASA itself and go Wikipedia. It does say nothing. the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics. This is what we're looking at. Right, let's just see if we can look at that claim, because that claim cannot be right. There's nothing here that says deep sea. Let's see if we'll find deep sea. Yeah, there's no claim of deep sea. Let's go back to NASA page. Deep sea. What about the word sea? Research. Do that. Yeah, so the word sea is not even in the whole NASA thingy. So that is just not true. And I think because it's not even a thing to lie about. Here's the thing. It's not even a thing to lie about. Yeah, we started NASA founded and we were going down, and then we had some brains and we decided let's go up instead. It's not a thing to lie about. It just makes right. Okay, and then
really,
and then yeah, they were actually deep sea. They actually had a famous experiment that they did where they tried to make dolphins communicate, and they actually got a woman that fell in love with some of the dolphins that she would literally jerk them off every day.
right. So I know this story. Woman, dolphin. Okay, that is actually she took part in a NASA-founded research program named Dolphin Peter to mimic human speech. As a child, she was inspired by a book called Miss Kelly, a story about a cat who communicated with humans. This inspired her research. Let's go to So the dolphin were called Peter. Being an adolescent dolphin frequently had sexual urges which disrupted the lessons. After taking Peter to a downstairs pool with two female dolphins proved to be a logistical issue for stating it wasn't sexual on my part. So basically, this is what I knew the story of. The dolphin were learning, and because he was a man who had his urges. See, I knew this story. I knew that wasn't true. It was NASA's funded, which I didn't know, but then why would I? But I knew this story, and it wasn't true. It's outright not true. To fulfill to be a logical issue, eventually Lovat, the woman, relieved Pia's urges herself, saying, "It wasn't sexual on my part, sensuous perhaps. It seemed to me that it made the bond closer, not because of the sexual activity, but because of the lack of having to keep breaking." And that's all it really was. I was there to get know Peter. That part of Peter, it would just become part of what was going on, like an itch. Get rid of the extra scratch. We'd be done and move on. See, I think that's what he'd read. An article titled "Interspecies Sex, Human and Dolphin" appeared in the magazine Hustler that dramatized the situation and reflected badly on the research. So that's just an absolute lie, right? Outright lie, start to finish, a lie.
shoot stuff up and have an
Sea exploration.
really,
And then yeah, they were actually deep sea. They actually had a famous experiment that they did where they tried to make dolphins communicate, and they actually got a woman that fell in love with some of the dolphins that she would literally jerk them off every day. Yeah, it's It's crazy stuff like that.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my god, how do you apply for that job? Right?
I don't know.
Like, oh, we need a dolphin jerk offer, please. Okay, what's the
It's weird
salary?
history like it's weird history like that. You're like, what's going on? Is this just a joke?
See, it's just not true.
Holy crap. Oh, that was the CIA. Next it was the CIA. But I mean, this is still freaking hilarious. Well, and the thing is, like, it's crazy because we know more.
No, they weren't the CIA. He's right. Well, NASA, because we looked at the, but it weren't.
More about our immediate space than we know about our ocean. So that's kind of cool. That if they're exploring like our oceans, that's really cool. We just don't need anything like have you seen those movies where you break the ice and then this virus comes out and kills everybody?
Oh, yeah.
We don't need any of that. Leave that there. It's down there for a reason.
Yeah, I think the oceans is a scary thing. I don't know. I think there's a lot of things that have undiscovered, and even in like Antarctica, the ice and stuff, there's probably a few diseases and type of things that they're scared to dig up. You don't know.
Yep. Leave it there. Leave it there. The Godzilla's actually buried down there, and with who's that bad Transformer guy?
Megatron.
Yeah, Megatron.
So got the All-Star. What? Oh, man.
Yeah. So
I should write down the stuff he lies about.
It was really cool. Actually, one thing that I was actually I was wanting was a view of just the Unreal part of footage, not overlaid, right? Because it was like the opacity was put over it.
Oh yeah, that was Heath Comedy's video. You should actually go. You know who Heath Comedy is?
No, I don't actually.
Let me get his.
Yeah,
He's even done the footage in Unreal with the drone as well.
Oh, cool. All right.
Because I'm just waiting to get my new hard drive so I have more space to be able to put Unreal Engine on this PC.
Yeah. I don't
have enough space, unfortunately. But there we go. There's his link, so you can always go and contact him. He's a nice guy. I mean, he'll even do other things for you if you ask him to do it for you.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Yeah, I would love to. Heath Carmody. All right, cool. Yeah. Almost 1,000 subs. That's cool.
Yeah, he's still got a small channel, but he does some good work.
Listen, man, I just hit over 1,000 subs. That's not small. That's
let's put it this way: it's the hardest point is to get to 1,000 subs. It's always the hardest. After that, it gets much better.
Yeah.
I'm almost at 5K now. I was like, what?
Yeah. Right.
I grew more in this last 3 months than I have in the whole year practically.
Yeah, the topic is hot. Like I was debunking chemtrails and ghosts and the moon landing hoax and all that kind of stuff. And then when the final experiment was announced, I was like, oh, well, here we go. this is gonna be a show for sure. But yeah, it's just crazy the response to the final experiment, and I find it as like kind of like a social experiment. You know, like this is something that could be so detrimental to a person's thought process and their upbringing and their beliefs. What would they do if they were in their face? Which I actually want to ask you. God damn it, the question just went away from my head, dude. Oh my god. Like I read 2 words of chat and then my whole thought process changed. So you say that the 24-hour sun in Antarctica, whether it be true or not, does not determine the shape of the Earth, right?
No, right. It doesn't change anything. The only thing I'm concentrating on is the deception. And what I'm seeing so far is it doesn't seem that it's real, but like I said, it won't change whether the Earth is flat or not. It still keeps with biblical scripture as well, because as I was saying before, to me, it looks like this is a spiritual attack on the Bible specifically. And this is why I do see the separation in the flat Earth community itself, where you get people with this infighting, you could say, because I've been seeing literally drawn a line in the sand, like biblical Earthers against New Age numpties kind of thing.
See, I don't know how it doesn't change. I don't know how it doesn't change anything. I'd be interested because Flatzoid did a debate with Will Duffy, I believe, on Flat Earth in November, and I'd be interested to see if he said in there, oh, it don't matter because all the other reasons why it don't matter. Because I don't know why it don't matter. I believe that this experiment showed that it actually did matter. You know, I don't know how a 24-hour sun works on a flat Earth. Because even when you consider this Johannvin dome thing, what I don't understand at all, I don't know how that works. You know, to me, it's confusing in so many ways. Because again, you're shining light on the outside, which again I know is a big problem. I can't see really what's happening, and I haven't been able to see, like, you forget the dome, forget everything. Again, we're talking about Unreal Engine, and all these programmers said this is how a 24-hour sun works on a flat Earth, and do this auto animation of it. Just somebody who's a flat Earth to do that, because there's nothing there, right? There's nothing there that I've seen. Because tell you what, I know it's not there. Because if something like that had been done, then Dave Keegan might have done a video on it. Simon Dan might have done a video on it. Creaky Blinder might have done a video on it. They said, look, this is the problem with it, blah, blah, blah. Again, there's many of them, because remember, when they had the Flat Earth, and they use that video of Dave Wise, Flat Earth Dave, going around saying, oh, look, the 24-hour sun don't work. And you can see sun going around in this like black circle where it's tracking round because it's only lighting half their little disc. That's a Flat Earth animation. And that's what I can get behind. I can say, okay, I can see what you're saying to me now. I can understand what you're explaining, what you think. But when you're just talking about a dome, you're showing nothing and you're explaining even less. So if you're saying this programming is so easy and you can make these things, then make this animation. Whack up thing. Use AI to do it as well. But this is what I see. It just don't work.
You get some cuckoo people, let's put this way, from the globe and the flat side. Yeah. Biblical earthers against new age numpties kind of thing. So you get some cuckoo people, let's put this way, from the globe and the flat side. Yeah. And I do believe that there's some good about this TFE as well, which is literally separating the wheat from the tares. It's showing the people who are fake to the people who are true as well. So I do say that's a good thing.
That's fair. So which brings me to our next question. Why is it so important to you and your community that it was faked?
No, it's not important. Like I said, it just seems that way. So we got to call it out because flat earthers in general are skeptic. And if you see something that...
Actually, I disagree with you. I don't think to Flatzoid it's important. Because I think I honestly think, as much as it's told things that are true, I honestly think he believes what he's saying is true. He honestly knows that, if it's real, it's real. If it's fake, it's fake. My position is it doesn't change anything. But you see the people around him when you watch one of his streams, and for me, I think it's the people around him that are like, no, it must be fake. It has to be fake. It can't be anything but fake. And it's a personal thing for them. I don't think it's that personal for Flatzoid. I honestly don't. I honestly don't think it's that personal for Flatzoid. Anyway.
That doesn't make sense, you're going to call it out. So it's not about the sun being there or not. It's all about, hey, they lied about this, and I'm all for showing, I don't think it really happened, because to me that's the evidence that's presented to me so far, and that's why I enjoyed the chat with David Keegan, because he actually gave me more information through him than I did with Game Witsit that didn't want to just shut up and be rude and lie constantly. You know what I mean? You couldn't get that from your own side.
Like honestly, I defended. I put up a lot, like 1 or 2 videos of me defending Witsit with the vape date. I felt dirty and betrayed. I knew that Witsit is a liar, right? Like that's his thing, that's his shtick. But then I was like, maybe this made him a better person. I believed it when he said, oh, I didn't vape, oh, I didn't fake my breath, whatever, right? And like I hate to agree with Sav, but he said, I don't care if he lied to appease his audience, right? I don't care if he lied because he wanted to hide this from his wife. It doesn't matter, right? All it shows is that there's deception. And so here's my thought on that. Witsit from the beginning had no interest in going. The only reason why he was going to go was because Jaren said, hey, I'm not going unless another flat earther's going. So Will Duffy was like, okay, well, who's next on the list? Okay, it's Witsit. He got 3rd place, right? So is it cool if we ask Witsit to go? And then he goes, yeah, sure, whatever. Witsit himself admits that he forgot about it for months. All while like David Keegan, MC Toon, Jaren, all these people were gearing up, getting ready to go, And so I feel like he went because his parents were dragging him to church. Like that's what I felt like was happening. Like he had no interest in actually going. He had no interest in providing any kind of truth. So much that he would lie about his goddamn breath on camera. There's something.
But that's what I say to him. Okay, you were caught out lying. Just admit it. Say, yeah, guys, I'm sorry. I was under pressure. I did it for these reasons, and then it's all forgiven. You say, okay, you all make mistakes. We all do, and we move on. But the fact is, he just doesn't do that. He does what Witsit carries on doing, acting as the victim and lying further and getting caught up with more lies.
Yeah, there's a theory that.
I don't know what this theory is, but I'm going to share my theory on why Witsit lied. My theory is Witsit lied because he wanted to throw a spanner in the works. He knew that there's probably a good chance we're going to see a 24-hour sun. Otherwise, Globers wouldn't have done it. If there was a chance of not seeing a 24-hour sun, McToon, David Keegan, Dill Duffy, none of them would have gone. So he knew there was a good chance we're going to see a 24-hour sun. And he knew that would throw Flat Earth into complete disarray. But if he could do something to like illegitimize the experiment, then it's there. It's there. It's mixed up. It's everything. And that's my theory on it. I might do a video on my theory of Witsit, but I don't know if I can get like a good video. Maybe it might be a 3-minute video, and then I'll just push it out. But that's my theory on why Witsit did what he did.
He actually tried.
Doing, acting as the victim and lying further and getting caught up with more lies.
Yeah, there's a theory that he actually tried to sabotage the whole thing from the beginning, right? Like he just didn't care. So he cared so little about what was happening, was that he was like, I don't care if I sabotage this. Like, I mean, like that's like Will Duffy put so much effort into making sure everyone had a GPS on them. Everybody, like from the moment they left their house, they had a GPS on them so that they could be tracked to say, okay, this is where we're going. Everything was documented. Everything was there was video of everything. There's everything. Like he worked so hard for Witsit to then lie about his freaking breath on stream. And so my point on this is there was deception on Witsit's end. That's just who he is. That should not. This is my point here. It should not discredit the entire experience.
But you see, that's the thing. It's not just that. It's from the get-go. Will Duffy already started this whole thing off with deception. And then when he even tried to apologize to Sean King in context, he lied on there as well. You know what I mean? And I think what put the icing on the cake was when the people found his sermon teaching that the Bible says it's fine to be deceptive, which totally goes against anything the Bible says anyway. But the point is, yeah, I mean, as a Christian, even if I was formally invited and they said, okay, you're going to go, I wouldn't be able to take part because I know as a Christian, I can't take in deceptive practices. So I wouldn't be able to go. So it gives a big red flag to like, yeah, well, if Witsit's lying and we're seeing all these things and the guy who literally made this up is lying and saying it's okay to lie, why should we trust anything presented by anybody in there?
Yeah. I actually never looked into that sermon. Do we know when he settled that? When that
sermon was? Literally when he started, it was a year ago, just when he started talking about the final experiment thing.
I see.
We actually showed a stream the other night going through some of it.
So obviously that topic has been brought up a few times, and I've seen all the reasoning behind it. You know, it's the if a serial killer comes to your house and asks where's your wife, you say she's not here, right? That's the general. What is your response to saying what he was actually meaning was X? Well,
the thing is, when it comes to deception, a deception has a very specific intent, and to, for instance, protect your wife from a serial.
No. This meaning is what is rooted into it, but deception is just saying something that's not true. I mean, so to deceive. So if we look at the definition for deception, the deception is the action of deceiving someone or a thing that deceives. So let's look at that as well. Deceive. So deliberately cause someone to believe something that is not true, especially for personal gain. Now, the word especially means it's more used for that, but it doesn't always mean that. It's not a hard set rule. You know, and again here, a thing gives someone a mistaken impression. To fail to admit to oneself that something is true, be sexually unfaithful to one's regular partner. You know, in the definition, there's no real thing between a lie and deceiving. It's something you're adding there through your own personal. I don't say, you know, there's certain words that when we say them, they may not actually be categorically accurate to the actual meaning of the word, but it's just something as we know it. It's like the word nap, you know. People's definition of a nap is different. Take UK, we have 12 different words for bread roll, you know. And they're all correct, but if you have to look them up, they won't match what we're looking up. I think it's a thing. Saying something that is not true. And again, we're talking about the protection. There's a thing where I don't know what he said. Guy, can't remember the name, but he used the example of there was some German people, and they were protecting some Jewish people, and when they had to go down, and they said, "Oh, have you seen any Jews?" They had to say, "No, no, no." But there was one girl who I taught that blind is wrong. So when she answered though, she said they were under the table. And when the guards checked, they weren't under the table. They had it hidden in but they were still saved. And they said, no, you can lie. He goes, no, God will protect me, blah, 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 sort of thing. That's the gist of the conversation. But it just don't make sense. Outright don't make sense. When we don't say is deception wrong in the Bible, we're saying is lying wrong. And if you're lying, if you're saying something that isn't true, knowingly that isn't true, you are lying. No matter what scenario it is, lying is lying. And there's instances of lying in the Bible, I believe they said. And they tried to change it and blah blah blah. But you ask anyone, is lying okay? They're gonna say no. Because lying is inherently bad. But is it ever okay to lie? Again, this goes back to the point where we're looking at scriptures that were 2,000-3,000 years ago to a modern day society where life is just so much more complicated. Life is just so much more complicated. And I don't think people realize that you can't use lessons in the Bible. I said that almost at the start. You can't use lessons of the Bible in a modern day because life is just far too complicated.
Which you're protecting yourself from as well, is not deception. A deception has a very specific intent. And to, for instance, protect your wife from a serial killer, which you're protecting yourself from as well, is not an intent to deceive. It's an intent to protect. So it's not deception. Remember, when it comes to the Bible, God reads your heart. He reads your intent. He's not going to say, "Oh, you lied to this guy that's literally causing harm." You know what I mean? So that's
not
you
true.
have to answer for it because obviously you lied, but God forgives you. That's why we are under grace. God died for us sins and He gives us grace. So we are able to be forgiven for that. But it's about the intent. It's not about the action.
If you have to defend yourself, then it's wrong. And if God gives us grace, then there's cases where you say, okay, you are okay to lie. You're answering the question that it's okay to lie. You're saying it yourself. Okay, so I want to write this time down.
It's the, if a serial killer comes to your house and asks.
Talking about the fine experiment thing.
I see.
We actually showed a stream the other night going through some of it.
So obviously that topic has been brought up a few times.
I'm going to write this timestamp down, and I might even just make a video. I think it's an important point. So we're at 53:16.
I've seen all the reasoning behind it. It's the, if a serial killer comes to your house and asks where's your wife, you say she's not here, right? That's the general. What is your response to saying what he was actually meaning was X?
Well, the thing is, when it comes to deception, a deception has a very specific intent. And to, for instance, protect your wife from a serial killer, which you're protecting yourself from as well, is not an intent to deceive. It's an intent to protect. So it's not deception. Remember, when it comes to the Bible, God reads your heart. He reads your intent. He's not going to say, "Oh, you lied to this guy that's literally causing harm." You know what I mean? So that's not you have to answer for it because obviously you lied, but God forgives you. That's why we are under grace. God died for us sins and He gives us grace. So we are able to be forgiven for that. But it's about the intent. It's not about the action.
All right.
It's the same as let's say you do between murder and killing. Killing can be unintentional. Murder is intentional because it's with intent. That's the same with deception. It's intent to be deceptive.
Have you seen the movie Hereditary? It's a horror movie. That reminded me because we actually had to explain the difference between murder and killing to one of my kids because someone gets killed, not murdered, right? So I was going to use that as an example for
understanding. People do that, children.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, I guess that's the same answer that I've heard on your show before. So Sobs mentioned at one point that he when he called Ailey, that he was planning on getting a group of people together to go down. Is that true? Are you guys going to do that?
Yes, he phoned them live because he wanted to find out bookings and times and everything. And they gave him an actual package, which showed the times and stuff, which would be the same times as Duffy and they were given. And it was supposed to they come back on the 17th. And Duffy said, no, they're supposed to come back on the 18th. But even on the itinerary, it shows 17th. So it's like, it doesn't add up. You're saying an extra day, which doesn't make, doesn't add up to what the itinerary was given. And the thing that Sobs also bringing up is, you're already back a day in British. What did you do that day? Dave just said, no, they rested.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, what did they really do? Probably a lot of editing.
Yeah, I can't imagine much editing was done by Dave McKeegan after 43 hours of no sleep. What?
So here's the thing with them coming back. There was a MC2 stream. Don't know how long ago, about a week, maybe 2 weeks ago, and he showed this itinerary saying that they would come back a day early, and when they did it, they all said they're coming back a day early, and they could have gone out a day earlier. They could have done out. This is why they had to be there 3 days before. These things could have happened. They just didn't. So yes, they lost a day. And because it's still in Chile, they didn't have to have the passport. All these things make sense, but to people who are trying to debunk it, they're like, that don't make sense. No, but they're just nonsense.
The itinerary, was that for 2025 or for this past one that already passed?
It was for 2025, but it still showed 2024 on when you were looking at live on our streams as well. It still showed full books, flight spots, and bookings and everything. So it showed exactly the same dates actually.
So it showed the 14th to the 17th for 2024.
Yeah. And then the other thing that everybody was also saying that didn't make sense was when we were watching the live streams, the weather reports were not adding the same. The weather reports didn't show perfect to what was going on in the live stream. That's just a red flag. Would you have any idea on that?
I haven't looked into that. I mean, so what we did see was what's his name? Peter Markley. He put up a video of being able to see the location of
from the Hawaii satellite or something.
Yeah, and you can see that there were clear skies down there at the Union Glacier the whole time they were there.
Well, flat earthers that's fake, bro.
Right.
Violates natural law. So.
I forgot about that. My bad.
So it's gonna be difficult to convince any flat earther that is actual photos. You know what I mean? For you guys, because you believe it's real, it's like, oh, that's cool. But for us, it's like, yeah, first proof to us that things in a place that violates natural law.
L1, man, 1 million miles out. It's the perfect resting space for gravitational pull from the Earth and the Sun. It's insanely mapped out. Really cool stuff. Well, I mean, it's been an hour. Do we want to get the rest of the panel on?
Yeah. So I'm asking if they want to come in now, because I think you also got some questions you want to ask them.
I mean, I really had just questions for you. I'm not gonna lie. I have a very big disdain for a lot of people on your panel, but I'll behave. Anyway, listen. Anybody who calls somebody who's not a chomo, I get a little arc with that. But I'm not gonna bring it up. We're gonna keep it nice and civil. Let me see if I have any. I have a lot of super chats here. Do you mind if I take a minute to read my super chats?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Oh my God, Jesus, guys. All right. I'm Raven with one gifted membership. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Sean Hawkins for $2 says, will he have a university peer review RDD?
I can actually do something like that. I was thinking actually to do up a dissertation sometime and actually send it and see how it would go.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
Yeah, it's a plan in future I'd love to do. Yeah. Because even this year I'm planning on doing what I call the Cavendish 2.0.
Ooh, all right.
So I've got some exciting things planned for this year.
Awesome. All right, cool. Well, you'll know that I'll have a close eye on that. A-Base for $5 says, the fake story is intellectual weak sauce to cover over the fact that Flat Earth turned up nothing, has nothing, and will leave with nothing.
Well, you see, that's where we can play on the other side and say, they found it sunk, so they had to fake it.
Yeah, there you go. A-Base for another $2 says, faking is just one of the ideas, more weak sauce.
It is just one of the ideas. I mean, this way, we take the evidence what's provided. You can't, with 100 possibilities, say that is true. It's just evidence. It's not proof. You understand? What's up, Roger?
How's it going?
Hello, Roger. How are you?
I hope I don't cost
and Scott's in the house.
There he is.
There
he is.
Speak of the devil, what?
The irony.
Oh, I like the
inference.
Oh yeah, I've been in the front room with my wife watching on the TV. There's no way to chat on the TV.
But I have to say, Mike, as a guy, I think you're awesome, man. I think we have awesome discussion.
Yeah, I look forward to that. Yeah, I'm not. I don't like confrontation too much. It's just in my nature. But I do like to convey information and things like that in a very Peter Markley kind of way. But I'm not as smart as him by any means. But
I have a question for you, though. Yeah. I have a question here. Are Christian flat earthers an embarrassment to all Christians?
Are Christian flat earthers an embarrassment to all Christians? I don't listen. I find that's a very specific.
You put me in a corner. Stop it.
No, so here's the thing. I find that okay. So no offense to the panel and the people who are now surrounding me, not physically but virtually. I find this flat Earth just disappointing to humanity itself, right? Because it's going backwards. You know, humanity's going backwards. The more science denial there is, the more that this grows, if it is growing, the more detrimental it is to us moving forward as a species. So
can I just say, if you've got disdain for me, I don't know why. I'm not saying that, but I would never call anybody a chomo without any evidence.
All right, perfect. I love that. No, I wasn't referring to you with that.
Okay.
There's only one person.
One cool question for you. Why do you think we deny science? What about science that we deny?
Well, you think that the Earth is flat?
It has nothing to do with science, sir.
It does. It 100% does.
No, it doesn't.
So what field of science does it not have anything to do with?
Well, it defies. Listen, this is what cracks me up right here. I was just talking to somebody on Facebook about this, right? We have a working model of the heliocentric model. No, you don't. It's dead from its inception. Okay, let's start with the foundational cornerstone of your heliocentric model.
Yeah. See, now I'm bored. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can listen to Flatzoid because Flatzoid's really articulate, but I can't. And I think I caught it's this panel. I don't think know. So what we want to do is we're going to end stream because that's what we do on YouTube, and I want to go watch MC2 and stuff. If anyone was there, at any point, I appreciate it. But we are going to end, and yeah, I will see you all another day when I do some more of this. Maybe I'll watch the second half of this. We're able to get in an hour into this. A 2-hour stream, but we did lots of next stream. I'll add some shit to stream and stuff. I get a light counter and stuff like that, so you can see lights and stuff on screen. I have like a YouTube display, so that this thing ain't on. But anyway,